Which dog is going to join me today? This dog? Oh no. This dog. Both the dogs. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another live coaching session. My whole family is sleeping, so I thought I'd hop on here and see if we can help anybody out with some live coaching today. Oh, I want some juice, but it hasn't been in the freezer. Hello. So, we're doing some live coaching today. Your hair is amazing. Thank you so much. I actually told a story the other day because I didn't wash my hair for about 3 months. My sister doesn't wash her hair ever with shampoo. She uses water. And so I thought I would give that a try because I hate washing my hair. And it did not work. My hair smelled really bad. My husband was just over it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to wash my hair. And my God, it looks so much better now that I've finally washed it. So thank you. Inflatable balloon breathing exercise. I don't know what that is, Antoine. Can you tell me what it is? Hello, Persian kittens. Welcome. I want to know how old you are. I am 40. You look so beautiful today. Thank you so much. I think it's because I washed my hair. No, I have makeup on today as well. I went out for lunch. I went out for lunch to all-you-can-eat restaurant with the family to celebrate because I'm starting a new part-time data analyst role on Monday, which I'm really excited about. So we went out last night to celebrate with my husband and then for lunch today. Hello, Albatross. How are you guys doing? I don't know what the inflatable balloon breathing exercise is, Antoine. If you would like to tell me, please feel free. But please don't just keep writing that in the chat because I don't know what it is. I already responded to you. I don't know what that is. Tell me what it is. I have been trying a new breathing technique recently that I read about called the vortex breath. But it didn't really do anything for me. So, what should we talk about today? I did a post just now, actually. Actually, this is a good thing to talk about today while we get started. So if anybody has coaching questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat. I will answer them. Until then, I'm going to tell you about my recent experience, which is around money and making money and work. So I often talk in my videos, in my live streams, about how when you need to make money, you should focus your attentions on doing things that make you feel good, rather than focusing on just like getting anything to make money, right? Hi, Anthony. What's it, 4 a.m. there? Of course you're awake. Or is it the other way? Yeah, no, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. It's pretty early, right? Yep. So, I've been talking about how when you want to make money, when you need to make money, to focus your attention on doing the thing that you love in order to make money from that, rather than focusing your attention on just taking anything. I made a video about how when we're looking for a job, we put in our criteria, our location, where we want to work, our wages, how much we want to get paid, and then probably an industry. And then we start looking for things that we feel like we could do, like check out the qualifications required and think, could I do this? Okay, yes, well, I'll apply. And a lot of people apply for jobs like that, if there's not something specific that they want to do. But even if there is something specific that they want to do, they might do this, apply for jobs across loads of different companies or loads of different industries, whatever it is. And my advice is to to do what you love, to focus your attention on doing what you love first in order to make money from that. And so this is what I had been doing. And I'm not going to lie, it was getting quite hard. So I finished up my project the last project I was working on about 3 months ago, and hadn't had any stable income since then, because I was taking my own advice, right? I was focusing all my attention on doing what I love. We've got a French, vous parlez in France. Now parlez-vous français? And so I was focusing all my attention. I spoke a mixture of Portuguese and French there, didn't I? Now is Portuguese. Anyway, I've been focusing all my attention on making money from what I love. And it was getting very difficult because I was coaching every day, right? Coaching is what I love. So every day I was coaching. I was coaching here live on TikTok. I had clients. I have paid clients, but they paid for 3-month coaching packages. So they already paid me 2 or 3 months ago. And one-on-one clients, a couple that I work with for free. And basically, I wasn't making enough money from coaching to pay my bills, not even close. But I knew that coaching is what I should be doing, right? I knew that coaching is what I should be doing. And so I kept doing that. And it got to a point where I was being told by a lot of people around me, like, you need to just get a job. Like, you can't keep doing this. It's not working for you. Even at some points, my husband was saying to me, look, like, we need to, Antoine, I've asked you to please not keep writing that in the chat. I don't know what this is. If you write it again, I'm gonna have to mute you because it's quite distracting for me, because I do actually read the chat. And so you keep writing this. I don't know what it is. I don't know why you're writing it. Please stop writing it, okay? I don't want to have to mute you. So a lot of people around me were saying, look, this isn't working. You know, you haven't had any income for a while from coaching. Like, when are you just gonna look for a normal job? Like my mom, right? Just look for a normal job. Stop with this. And I was like, no, coaching is what I'm here to do. I'm going to practice what I preach. This is what I'm telling other people to do. I'm not going to be a hypocrite and not follow my own advice. I know to the depths of my very soul that I need to be coaching people. I need to be helping people unlimit themselves. I need to be guiding people to find their purpose. And I know that the universe is going to support it, right? And I maybe am being stubborn. I'm a Capricorn. Or maybe I'm being, what's the word? I wrote it as a comment on my Instagram post. Determined, right? Am I being stubborn or am I being determined? And to be honest, I think it came across, I'm not sure where I was going with that, but the fact is, it was getting really tough. It was getting really tough. I hadn't had any income for a while. Well, no, I have like, there's one other project that I'm working on. It pays my rent. So I had my rent covered, but my other bills, I didn't have a way of paying them, right? The credit cards were coming due. I didn't have a way of paying them. And my coaching wasn't paying me. And I was getting scared, and people around me were saying, look, you know, you've got to stop this. You've got to just get a job. You've got to just find something, right? And I kept going. And I kept going. And then my intuition told me to talk about my experience in the cult. So if you haven't seen that, you can hop over to my other channel here on TikTok, Universival, where I have an 11-part series on my experience being in a cult. And after sharing that experience, everything just sort of changed for me. And I was offered multiple opportunities to earn money, either from things I was already doing or from things I love doing, right? So multiple opportunities. For example, I have a Facebook group that I run. There's like 12,000 renters in there in Australia. And so a new company that's targeting renters that wants to help renters buy their properties reached out to me and was like, hey, can we like collab, and can we have you create some content for us in your Facebook group, because you've got our target audience there, right? So I already have this Facebook group and somebody just wants me to like put some content in there and they're going to pay me for that. That was one of the opportunities. Another of the opportunities was one of the cleaners, the Brazilian cleaners that I was hiring for my old project. She started her own cleaning company, but she's having problems calling the clients because her English isn't so good. So she reached out to me and she was like, can you just do the initial setup call? If you do that, I will pay you $7 an hour on all of the work that we do for that client. Amazing. Yes, of course. One phone call, like 1 5-minute phone call, and I can get paid in perpetuity. Like, yes, of course I will do that. And so what I realized was that through staying true to earning money, or putting my focus on doing what I love, right? Putting my focus on coaching and not accepting anything else other than coaching, not looking for anything else. The universe, which is me, provided opportunities where I could earn money other ways very easily, very quickly, doing things I love, or things I can just do super fast, like a phone call, and the universe will support me by paying my bills that way, right? So that I can keep on coaching. Albatross, no worries, come back. I'm usually live Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. EDT. This is an extra session because my family are all asleep and I was bored. So I hope to see you back here sometime. And it happened at just the right time, I have to say as well, because I was like, I had just emptied out my last bank account to pay off a credit card here, and that was it. There was no more money. I had no more money, right? I was literally all in on myself, all in on my coaching, all in on I'm gonna make this work. And the universe answered immediately. Like within 24 hours, this all happened. Like I was offered 3 jobs in 24 hours. And I think sometimes my messaging comes across a little mixed, because I was speaking to my mum, and my mum said to me, oh, thank you so much. You will be extremely successful. It has started. Yes. And my God, like I follow astrology. So I was following the movement of the planets, the recent eclipse, and I knew that better times were coming from the planets. And I knew like it just had to make it sort of past the eclipse and that everything was going to be okay. Because I follow astrology, right? But also because I have faith. Like ultimately, I knew it was all going to be okay. I knew it was going to work out. Times were really, really hard, right? You know, when you don't have money to go to the shop, like to go to the grocery store to get food for the kids, right? And it's like, is it worth it? Am I doing the right thing? So many times I ask myself, like, am I doing the right thing as a parent, as a mother, as a wife? It's me that pays the income for my family, right? Because my husband doesn't work. So am I doing the right thing? And I questioned myself, and I was sure coaching is what I need to be doing. Coaching is what I'm here on this earth to do. And ultimately, after the eclipse, the universe supported that. The universe said, yes, you're doing what you need to be doing. We're gonna support that. And then off the back of that, so I accepted the job. I start on Monday. I also got another paid client, an ongoing client. So that was just further proof that it works, right? Focusing all of your attention and your energy on the thing that you love to do, even when you're being tested, even when you feel like you're not doing enough, or you feel like you should give up. If you just keep doing it and stay steadfast and be stubborn and keep going after that thing that you love, it has to come. It has to come. Because you're not giving yourself any other options. There's no plan B. There's no backup plan. There's no way this cannot work, because this is the only thing, right? And what I was saying before is I think sometimes my messaging comes across a little mixed, because I think some people hear me say, you don't need to work for money. I was talking to my mum, and my mum said, oh, I saw one of your videos saying that you don't have to work for money. Like, why are you telling people that? And I was like, that's not my message. I'm sorry if I've confused people that way, but my message is not you don't have to work for money. My message is work doing what you love so that it doesn't feel like work, right? Okay, Antoine, I'm sorry. We gotta mute because you're still writing the same thing. Yes, you can work doing something that you love so that it doesn't feel like work, and make money that way. And there's a famous Mark Twain quote saying exactly that. Do the thing you love and you'll never work a day in your life. So if I have any mixed messaging out there where it sounds like I'm saying you don't need to work for money, that was never my intention. My intention is to get across the point that you can do the thing you love for money. You don't have to just take anything out of desperation. Hi, Jung Cookie. Welcome to the live. I'm excellent, thank you. How are you? So I have just been ranting a little bit. That's the post that I made today. But let's get into some coaching, you guys, if you want. Does anybody here want live coaching? So we can do this across any area of your life. What I do is something called neurological reprogramming, which basically means creating new neurological pathways in your brain by presenting different perceptions, different possibilities, right? There are many possibilities. We are limited by the stories that we tell ourselves because that is literally the way our brain is wired. Our brain is wired to base our judgments on past experience. And what this does is it keeps us limited, it keeps us in our comfort zone. And our brains are designed that way to keep us safe, right? To keep us safe from predators. It's like when you go into fight or flight, your body is trying to keep you safe. But in keeping you safe, it's also keeping you small. In never moving out of your comfort zone, never moving past your limitations, you are remaining small. And our purpose here on earth is not to remain small. Our purpose here on earth is to grow and to be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be. Because imagine if we were all the best version of ourselves that we could possibly be. Imagine what the world would look like. Wouldn't it be fantastic? Everybody doing the thing that they love, having it feel like it's not work. Everybody waking up every morning like, yes, I get to do my passion today. Whatever that passion may be, whether it's art or music or coaching or being a doctor and helping save people's lives, or playing a sport and entertaining people, like whatever it is. Imagine if we all just did the thing that we loved every day, what kind of world that would create. Because everybody would be in a good mood all the time. Everybody would want to work. Everybody would want to work for free or for money, and it wouldn't matter. But that's not how our society has been designed. Our society has been designed to keep us small, because the powers that be at the moment, the people at the top of the food chain, those big ancient families, the families that own all of the corporations, the families that hold most of the world's wealth, they don't want us to know that we can live free from limitations. They want to keep us under control. It's like that experiment with is it a horse or an elephant, where they tie it to a post, and like it tries to escape a couple of times when it's young, but then it can't because it's young and it's small and it's weak, and then it remains tied to the post for the rest of its life. And as it grows, I'm sure it's an elephant, as it grows, it obviously gets the power to remove the rope from the post, right? Because it's a big, massive elephant. It could just walk away and pull the post with it, but it doesn't know that. It's been kept small by its limitations, by its belief that that rope is keeping it stuck to the pole. Because the one time he tried to move away from that pole, he was too weak to do so. And so his brain said, there's no point trying to move away from the pole. You're stuck here. Stay here. And that's how we all are in our lives. We believe that we're stuck because the last time we tried to get away, it didn't work how we thought it would. It didn't work how we wanted it to. And so we gave up. We stopped. If you give up, if you stop chasing your dreams, then of course your dreams will never come true. And a lot of people don't want to follow their dreams. They don't want to unlimit themselves because it involves being uncomfortable first. Because first you have to show that you're ready, that you're willing, that you're going to stick with it. It's not going to be easy. I mean, some people have it easy, right? Some people are singers and they get spotted at a young age and they're propelled into fame, although I'm sure that comes with its own challenges. I guess from the outside, it looks like some people have it easy. But whichever route you go, whatever your passion is, there will be trials. There will be hard times. And those are the times when you need to show that you're willing to stick it out, because they are important lessons that you need to learn in order to be successful in what you're doing, right? Hi, Miranda. Because if you want to expand, if you want to grow, if you want to move out of your comfort zone, if you want to do the thing that you love every day that doesn't feel like work, you are going to need to be a bigger person than you are right now. And in order to be a bigger person, you need to learn those lessons. So, for example, I love to coach on health. Because I'm fantastically healthy. I never get sick. My body looks great. Like, I'm 40 years old. My body's the best it's ever been. My husband is a personal trainer, so we enjoy going to the gym together. And so, like, I feel like I can coach well on health. You know, I can coach well on relationships. My husband and I have been through some shit, but we've got it through and we're stronger than ever. I feel like I can coach well on career because I found the thing that I love, right? But I've always felt a little awkward coaching on money, because I had and have been having money problems of myself, so it felt hypocritical, right? But I knew that I had to keep doing, even though it felt uncomfortable, because I had the answers. I just was following my own process and hadn't got to the end yet. I hadn't got to the results yet. I knew it would work, but I hadn't yet experienced that for myself. And now, because I stayed true to it, even when it got really, really uncomfortable, even when all my bank accounts were like either massively negative on the credit cards I maxed out or zero, I was like, no, I'm going to keep doing this. It feels really uncomfortable, but this is the last area that I need to master before I know I can help people across any area of their lives. I've got to get this money thing down. And so I kept going. I kept following my own advice, even when it got really, really hard. And it worked. It worked. Bless the planets, bless the universe, bless me for sticking it out, because it worked. And now, finally, I can coach on money as well, because I have now experienced that. So I believe that in order to be an excellent coach, I need to coach on things I have experienced myself, right? Like, there's a coach in the community that I used to be a part of that coaches on parenting. In fact, they hosted a parenting masterclass, and they are not parents. And this shocked me that somebody could coach on parenting when they're not a parent themselves. And I believe as a coach that I'm best able to coach people if I have been through the experience myself. And so now, coming out the other side of it, now I have income again that's supporting me. Now I know that I can coach people through their money problems as well, because I've experienced that. And that's why I had to go through those problems, right? That's why I had to experience that hardship. That was the lesson I had to learn so that I could effectively help other people with their money problems. And it's just so perfect when you think about it. The book is on the table, the table, the table. You want to sing, Chebe? Say, the book is on the table. No, she can't say it. I really need to get her teeth cleaned because her breath is foul and she's breathing directly into my nose right now. And I feel like, whew, yeah, I need to get her teeth cleaned. Poor thing. If anybody here heard me talking about the dog we rescued last week, we rescued a dog last week, a little Yorkie. Shall we go and see if we can find her? She had a hip problem. It looked like she had been hit by a car because she was in the road. Cataracts in her eyes. She was really matted, smelly. She had sores over her back. We rescued her and we couldn't find anybody to take her, but we've now found somebody who's going to come and take her tomorrow. There she is. She doesn't have a name because we weren't going to keep her, so I've just been calling her Princess. Let me grab a drink while I'm here. So anyway, that was quite a long way of saying that when it comes to coaching, I can help you across any areas of your life now. Oh, aí, lindona. Oi, Shadi. Qual língua é? Português? É aí, lindona. Eu falo português, mas eu falo pouco. Eu não sei... what's the word for slang? I can't remember what it is. So you guys are welcome to write in the chat if you have coaching questions. I can now coach you on money because I got my money stuff figured out. Relationships, parenting, health, career. My favorite, one of my favorite audience members has a lot of problems with other people and his relationships, not like a partner, but roommates, in particular friends and colleagues. So that's another example. Ela namora otário. Slang, yes. Gerias. Right, that's what I was trying to say. I don't know slang. So I've made a new friend here. She's Brazilian. She only speaks Portuguese, and she doesn't speak proper Portuguese, because when we write back and forth, it's all slang. I asked her the other day if she wanted to do something. She wrote back, ne, br. Like, ne, N-E-B-R. And I was like, dude, I'm learning Portuguese here. Can you use words with me? She's like, sorry, gringa. Yeah, you guys use a lot of slang, and I don't understand the slang yet. But also, I wasn't 100% sure if that was Portuguese. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. I had to up my game when it came to learning because I realised I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any girls to talk to, and when I was going through some problems with my husband, I was feeling really alone and isolated. So I made it a focus of mine to start actually speaking Portuguese. That's actually one of the reasons that I started this this live streaming. So I am in Goiás. It is beautiful, 28 degrees today. The rain has stopped. We've not had any rain for a couple of weeks now, so I think that's it for the rain this year. We start again in October. So now it's just 28 degree days every day. I love this country. I love living here. It's really cold in the UK at the moment. It's like March. No, it's April. It's the end of April, so it should be starting to warm up. It should have been warming up for a little while, but apparently it's not. Apparently it's still freezing there. So I am blessed to be living here in Brazil. I learned it quickly, so can you. What, Portuguese? I've been learning for 5 years. Actually, no, longer than that, probably. So I started on an app. I started learning on Duolingo for probably 2 years. Hang on. Oh no, my daughter was 2 when we left. Okay, so I did Duolingo for probably 2 years until I had my daughter. because my longest streak on Duolingo was 9 months, which is the 9 months I was pregnant. And then I missed a day when I was giving birth, and then I never got back on it because I had missed a day and I lost my 180 whatever day streak, and I was so upset. But I was giving birth, what can you do? So then I kind of stopped learning Portuguese. Like, I had a newborn baby, and I was focused on that for 2.5 years until we moved to Brazil, and then I had to start learning again. Maybe 2 months before we moved, I started doing lessons actually, with a Brazilian girl online. So I had 2 months of lessons. Then we arrived in Brazil, and then I didn't say a word in Portuguese for the whole 5.5 months we were here. I just stopped speaking Portuguese. Well, I had never started. I just didn't speak Portuguese. I was trying to improve my listening, and I was very afraid that if I said something in reply, people would talk back. And honestly, I still really struggle with my listening, which is why I enjoy doing the live streams, because it allows me to practice talking, but you guys write so I can read, and I'm much better at reading Portuguese than I am understanding it. And then when we moved back to Brazil in about 1 year and 4 months ago, that's when I was like, okay, I've got to start now. So then I started learning properly. Dude, I'm on a 1,530 day streak on Duolingo. How many years is that? Is that 5 years? No, 3 years. No, it's 5 years, isn't it? How many years is that? I was so proud of my 180 whatever days it was. You've just smashed me. What language are you learning? Portuguese or English or something else? But I did it to myself, right? I could have got back on. I missed 3 days. I was in labour for 3 days with my daughter, 72 hours. So I had missed 3 days, because I think if you just miss 1 day, they let you kind of recover it, don't they? But it was too long. I couldn't recover it. Not that it would, I don't think it would have helped me that much, to be honest, because I already had, at this point, I had 1,000 words in my vocab. I got the award for 1,000 words sometime before I stopped doing it. But I still had not had any practice listening or speaking, other than in the app, which is not, I don't find the listening and speaking parts of the app that helpful. Almost 4 years, right? Oh my God, dude. Well, congrats. That is consistency. I love that. That is a man on a mission. Right? That is you found something that you want to do, and you are doing it. So congrats to you. Hello, successful, welcome back. How many languages do you speak? Oh, well, just one really, and then I try to speak Portuguese. So 2. I learned French for 7 years at school. So I can read in French a little bit. However, when I started learning Portuguese, all the French words kind of just went out my head. So even very basic French phrases, I now cannot remember how to say. However, if somebody says them to me, then I'm better for understanding. But yeah, whenever I try and speak French now, it's only Portuguese that comes out. I don't know how people can learn more than one language at a time, because I just get them too muddled in my head. I would love to speak more though. I think French is probably next for our family. My husband really wants to learn French. My daughter is just obsessed with learning languages. She's 4 years old. She's been teaching herself Spanish for a little while. She watches programs on YouTube to help her learn Spanish just by herself. She did that. And her aunt goes to school in Argentina, so she speaks Spanish with her sometimes. So yeah, I think she'll be happy to learn French as well. I'd love to do some coaching with you guys if you are into it. Let me tell you about something that happened the other day. Maybe it will inspire a coaching question from you. So I was chatting, I was on a coaching call with one of my clients, and she had just been duped out of a lot of money from a contractor, right? So she had paid this guy 10K in cash to do some work, to do some renovation work on her house, right? And he'd started the work, but like they were moving very slowly. She wasn't happy with it, basically. So she was like, look, like, this is not going to work out. Like, I can see that I really overpaid you. I want to stop the project. So just like, you can charge me for, you know, the time that you spent so far, the materials, and then let's just call it a day. So they were like nowhere near finished. It had only been a couple of days. However, the man claimed, you know, we've almost spent all of the money. I can't give much back to you, right? And so because she had paid cash, like there wasn't really anything she could do about that. And so we were having a coaching call about it. And she was saying, like, you know, I feel so stupid. I can't believe I gave him all of that cash. And so I said, like, let's take a look. Like, why did you give him all that money? Like, that must have been like a literal stack of cash to give to somebody. Like, why did you trust him? And she said it was a friend of hers. It was their father. So she felt like she could trust them because it was a friend's father, right? Hi, Oscar. You're moving house. How's it going? Like, you are moving right now, right? Why are you on TikTok? I said, why? Oh, lovely. Are you having lunch in a churrascaria? Churrascaria. I went to a churrascaria today too. I can't say it. Oh no! So what happens with that? Like, do you not need to be out? Are you going to move tomorrow? Where was I? Yeah, so I said, why did you give him all that money? So she was like, well, I thought I could trust him. Friend's father. I was like, okay. So friend's father, okay. So then we started chatting about, and then I asked how her relationship was with her parents, like if she was feeling that she could trust this man like a father. How's the relationship with her parents? And she said, oh, well, actually, that's an interesting story. I'm from Canada and I moved to the US. I hadn't seen my parents for 11 years and I actually saw them a couple of weeks ago. They came to visit me in the US and I was so happy. It was so good to see my father again. He did everything for me. I didn't have to lift a finger, and I was like, interesting. So it's very interesting that this happened literally a week after you hadn't seen your parents for 11 years, and here's this guy that you're seeing as a father figure that you feel like you should be able to trust. So we did a little bit more digging, and what we realized was that she'd been feeling guilty for 11 years about leaving her parents in Canada and moving away from them. She'd been carrying around this guilt about like not being a good daughter, about not being there for her parents as they were, you know, getting elderly, and she'd been feeling guilty about that. And she said, and once we realized that, she started looking at other areas of her life where that had held her back. She said, because what we discovered is that her feeling guilty about having left her parents was presenting itself in her life with a lot of not wanting herself to be comfortable in her home, in her relationships, in her new place, right? She had chosen to move to the US, and then she was sabotaging herself, making herself uncomfortable there. And she went looking through her past, and she's like, oh my God, like I've had some really awful landlords that have made my life a living hell. I've tried to buy places and it's fallen through. I've tried to do renovations and stuff like this has happened. Even with relationships, like sometimes there's problems in relationships that like I don't even know where these problems come from. Like there's no problem, and then I create a problem. And she had been doing everything she could to sabotage herself living in that place because she felt guilty about having left her parents. And then as soon as she realised that, she got 2 dates Within like a couple of hours of her realising that, I got a message from her the next morning. Our call was at night, and I got a message the next morning saying I just got 2 dates, like off the back of our conversation. And so it's crazy that once you realise what's holding you back in life, once you realise where you're limiting yourself, you bring awareness to it and you choose a different reaction, you choose a different life, everything just changes so quickly. You can drop these stories, these limitations, as soon as you see them. But the tricky part, of course, is seeing them. The tricky part is figuring out what it is that's holding you back, right? So like I was talking about my recent money struggles, and I knew that I needed to be coaching. I knew that I was going to be putting all of my efforts into coaching. This is what I'm here on earth to do. But for 2 months, the universe was not showing me any support for this, right? And it felt like I was wrong, and I was like, there's something blocking me. And then as soon as I became fully authentic and I opened up and I told my story about having been in a cult and about how that had affected me, because I had not been talking about that before. I had been inauthentic because I hadn't been talking about it. But I didn't realize I was being inauthentic. You know, I thought I was just keeping part of me private. But I realized that in order to be a great coach is to share all of my experience with you guys, because I went through those experiences so that I could use them for my coaching. Like that's what my life has been about. I've been through so many experiences, great experiences, wonderful experiences, tragic experiences, testing experiences. But I know in my heart that all of those experiences I went through were for me to be a better coach, so that I can always coach you guys from experience, right? And if I haven't experienced it, how can I coach you guys on it? So once I realised that what I needed to be was fully authentic and to share my whole self with you guys, then everything just opened up for me. I removed that limitation. I removed that limitation of, I'm going to talk about this, this, and this, and I'm not going to talk about that. Because it was holding me back. It was limiting me. So where are you guys limiting yourselves without even realising it, right? And this is where coaches come in. Because my client came to me, she knew she had a problem because like this contractor had taken her money and she was really upset about it. She couldn't let it go. She's like, I've been feeling my feelings. I've done what I know to do, you know, what you teach me to do, feel your feelings, change your language, whatever, and it's not working. So she knew there was a problem. She knew there was a blockage that she had to bring her awareness to so she could clear. And that's where coaches come in, right? That's where I come in. That's where I help. I like show you, right? We talk and I show you, this is where you're limiting yourself. We can bring awareness to it, and then you can drop it. You can choose to move on and not do that anymore. Hi Edson, welcome to the live. So we are doing live coaching here today, and I want to help you guys free yourself from your limitations. That is what I do. And it can be across any area of your life. I've given a few examples. Hang on, I need to have a sip of water. It's not water, it's juice. Hasta la vista, baby. Austria in the house. Hello, Kleber. No, Canada. Hasta la vista. Right, this is from Terminator. He's Austrian. That's why I thought that. What's the Austrian flag? I feel like it's red and white as well. Anyway, I have now realised that is a Canadian flag. Yeah, I need to do some work on my flags. Talk to me, guys. Tell me where you're feeling limitations in your life. If you don't know, there is a way that you can try and figure out at least which area of your life you are limited in. So take a look at the different areas, right? You've got wealth, you've got your career, you've got your family, kids if you're a parent, your relationship if you're in one, your social life, your did I already say health? Your income, your goals, your glory, right? Take a look at all of these different areas of your life and just score each one out of 10. And if any of them are not at a 10, then you are limited in that area. You are limited because you can be at a 10 across all areas of your life. You can be, but we limit ourselves with stories about why we can't. And that's where I come in. I come in to show you how to move past those limitations. And while y'all are thinking about that, I'm going to go get myself a popsicle because it is hot as hell. Hi Douglas, welcome to the live. Oh, thank you so much for the roses, Edson. Wow, salve. That was a word I was trying to think of earlier. Salve João. Did you see my video where I try and say the name João? It's hilarious, dude. You should check it out. I think I've got it pinned to the top of my page. Região de Goiás. Eu sou inglesa, mas eu moro no Goiás. Inglaterra, no Brasil. Oh, meu Deus. Sim, isso. Tá chucreza hoje em dia. What's chucreza? Eu não sei essa palavra, chucreza. Meu português não é muito melhor. Eu falo um pouco português. Chucreza. Não sei essa palavra. O que trouxe você no Brasil? Meu marido é brasileiro. Conheceu meu marido lá na Austrália e vem aqui. You could be my English teacher. I could, yes. Lots of people ask me on here to teach them English. If you don't speak any English, I think I wouldn't know where to start. But if you have a little bit of English, then yeah, I think I could. I know lots of people come on the live to learn English. And I'm English, right? Not American English. So I think I teach a slightly different English. Okay, I was born in Inglaterra. What's good in England? I don't know. I'm not. What's the order? Oh, we've lost Oscar. Oscar usually does my translating for me when there's a word I don't know. Qual país é mais da hora? Babe, what's da hora?
Cool.
Ah, cool. Eu acho que agora é Brasil. Eu gosto de Brasil. Eu gosto muito outra país for countries, right? País também. Brasil é muito caro de se viver. Muito caro. That's
Expensive.
It's expensive. Não é. É mais barata para mim. Inglaterra é muito caro. Inglaterra, Tudo vez é mais caro. A mosquito just got me. We're having a dengue epidemic here. Everybody's getting dengue. And I'm smothered in repellent. It's not working. Na Inglaterra você vive bem. Eu não morei lá na Inglaterra para 15 anos. 15 anos. Eu morei na Austrália para 12 anos antes de Brasil. Meu sonho é conhecer a Inglaterra. Inglaterra é muito boa para pouco tempo. Vai lá para 3 meses, máximo. 6 meses. Mas inverno lá é muito frio, não é boa. Não é boa. Except Christmas. Natal. Natal é bonita lá. Amo o frio. Então. Você vai amar. England is a beautiful country. It is a beautiful country. It is. I love to visit England. I just don't want to live there again. I love to go home, see my family. We spent Christmas there. Not last year, the year before. Christmas in the UK is amazing. And I love the cold at Christmas. I don't like warm Christmas. I had warm Christmases every year in Australia. It sucked. I don't feel like it's Christmassy when it's warm. And England has beautiful countryside. It's just not so great for living because everything's very expensive. There's a shortage of housing. So for me and my family, we were going to live there. Right, we wanted to go live there. But we decided to come to Brazil instead. And I'm so glad that we did. We definitely made the right decision. Austrália é um lugar bem lindo. Sim, é. Mas tem muitos bichos. Muito. Eu nunca vi uma aranha grande lá. Aranha grande. Até meu último mês. Uma aranha grande, muito grande, foi aqui na parede. Atrás de minhas costas. E 2 semanas depois nós saímos. Austrália. Hello, Nagawang. Querido, eu moria. I don't know what that means. Something. Credo. I'm not sure credo. I would live. You gotta help me out with the translator sometimes, guys. It was easy for you to learn Portuguese. No, it was not easy. I'm still struggling with it. I'm from the UK, Nagawang, and I live in Brazil. Hey, João, not João, João. Languages have never come easily to me. French was my worst subject at school, and I also put off learning Portuguese for a long time. I didn't fully immerse myself in it, so I didn't help myself there, and no, definitely not found it easy. Where in Brazil? Goiás. Seu cabelo é natural, é lindo. Oh, muito obrigada, Douglas. Sim, é natural. Meu cabelo cresceu muito aqui no Brasil. Lá na Inglaterra e Austrália, meu cabelo cresceu só aqui. E aqui no Brasil tem muito mais. Eu acho que é a água. A água aqui. Não sei. Hi, so you live in Brazil, right? Yes, I live in Brazil. I live in Goiás. So we are doing live coaching today, guys. I don't mind talking a bit about me because it's Saturday, so why not? But I'm also here for live coaching. So if you guys have any limitations, if you guys want to do something in any area of your life and you're feeling like you can't, like something is holding you back, like you're stuck, tell me about it and I will help you. I will remove the limitation. Matt, I have a Brazilian fiance. Woo! She moves here in October. Would you recommend living in the UK or Brazil? Brazil, Matt. Brazil. Very, very easy answer. You're in the UK? Go to Brazil. Go to Brazil. Brazil is much better. For multiple reasons. Why Brazil? So, okay. Biggest thing, family. In the UK, my family is very spread out. We never see each other. In Brazil, families live all close together. Babysitters. I don't know if you have kids, but it's lovely to be surrounded by family. The weather. It's 28 degrees to 38 degrees. Where I live in Goiás, it's between 28 to 32 degrees every day, the whole year. Yes. Look at the sky. Do you see that? All year. Perfect, beautiful weather, all year. It rains sometimes, but, that's life. But not very often. What else? Everything is really cheap here. Everything costs 6 times less. And I get it, right? I used to do foreign exchange and I spent years trying to explain to my husband, no, things cost the same. Things are worth the same, but Brazilian real is like 6 times the British pound. No, I was wrong, actually. Things cost 6 times less here. What costs 200, like electricity, for example, monthly electricity in the UK, at my mum's house was about £230 a month. Here in Brazil, it's about 230 real. The real is worth 6 times less. It is 6 times cheaper. Everything costs about the same in numbers, but it's 6 times cheaper, right? Everything, except cars and some electronics. Bring your iPhone. Get a new iPhone before you come. Brazil is the most expensive place in the world to buy an iPhone. They cost like 10 times more here than some other places. And cars. But everything else, way, way cheaper. The people here are very, very friendly. Everybody wants to help you learn Portuguese. Everybody speaks to each other. Like if you're in a lift, everyone will start chatting to each other. Like if you go to a party and you don't know somebody, they will come over and they'll be like, hi, who are you? They don't just look at you like, who's that person? People are friendly here. Interesting. I have a stable, well-paying job in the UK. She's finishing her degree in October, so financially it makes more sense to stay in the UK. Do you love your job, Matt? Do you love your job? If you love your job and you're doing what you love, then okay, maybe it does make sense to stay in the UK. Maybe it does. However, if you do your job because it's well paying, then don't do that. Right? If you love your job, great, amazing, stay there, keep your job, do that. But if you do your job just because it's well paying, like I used to work in finance, it was very well paid. But I just did my job because it was well paid. That's all. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't hate it, but I did not enjoy it. And so I decided to try something else. And it worked out great. And the UK's just, like, the UK's in a mess, right? The UK's just in a bit of a mess. The cost of living crisis, the politics, the Brexit effects, like the inability, like my mum can't get a handyman to come do stuff around the house. The cold. Yeah, it's better. It's better here. My opinion, okay? That's my opinion. Hang on, Douglas. Os ingleses tomam banho todos os dias. Curiosidade. Douglas. Todo mundo em Inglaterra toma banho todo dia. Mas geralmente é vez para dia. Duas. Aqui no Brasil, pessoas tomam banho, eu acho que é 5, 6 vezes por dia. Porque é muito quente aqui. É muito quente. Lá na Inglaterra não é quente. No, people don't sweat. You don't need to have a shower multiple times per day. So, yeah, I know people say this about English people. O meu Deus fala mais de devagar ser inglês. Desculpa, Douglas. Desculpa. Yes, I struggle to learn Portuguese because I don't immerse myself in the language. Yeah, Matt, same. So I was just talking earlier about how I was doing Duolingo for 2 years in Australia. And although it was good with the vocab, it did not help me at all when I got to Brazil because people were talking too fast. I couldn't understand, and I found it difficult to construct my answers in real time because Duolingo for me was really helpful for reading and writing, but not so helpful when it came to listening and speaking, which when you're in Brazil, those are the skills you need. So it's definitely going to be a fast track of learning when you get here, but it's great if you have that base knowledge from Duolingo or lessons or, whatever you did. It's cheap to people who receive in strong currency like dollar or euro. For Brazilian, it isn't that cheap. Yes, very good point, Vesna. Very good point. I earn in pounds and US dollars. So for me, everything is cheap. This is a very good point. The wages in Brazil are very low. To me, they're very low. They're 6 times lower, right? So it's a very good point. Also, a lot of jobs don't pay enough to actually pay your bills. Like my husband was working as a personal trainer. His wages would only cover one kid's school fees. So it wouldn't cover rent, electricity, water, food, the other kids' school fees. It worked out about $92 a month to work 6 days a week. So the wages are very low. But Matt, the key is to continue working in the UK if possible. If you can work remotely for your job, that would be an ideal situation. Come to Brazil, work remotely because the hours are not that different. You would just have to get up a couple of hours earlier. Have you gotten used to the climate in Brazil? Yes, because I used to live in Australia. So I lived in Australia for 12 years before Brazil. So I was used to the hot weather. And it is hotter here for longer. But I love the heat. Oh, I love my job. I work in the motor trade, but I know that Brazil lifestyle would be great. Yeah, okay. So motor trade, okay, probably can't work remotely here then. So yeah, okay. It's a tough choice. You can always so you can come to Brazil for 6 months without a visa. So what you could do, Matt, is ask your work if you can do a sabbatical for 6 months. Come here and just see how you like it. Where is your fiance from? Which part of Brazil? Seu português é perfeito. Muito obrigada. Eu não sei, é perfeito, mas eu vou tentar mais, eu vou aprender mais. É muito beneficial para mim falar com vocês, quem fala inglês e português. Muito obrigada para vocês falando comigo. Can you give me a tip? Parzival, can you give me a tip? When I find work, my mind is always negative that I can't do anything. Yes, I can definitely give you a tip for this. So firstly, it's your language, right? It's in your head. It's your language. It's what you're telling yourself. So firstly, you can choose to change your language, right? You can choose to stop telling yourself that you can't do something. However, my other tip is when you're looking for work, find something that you really want to do. Find something that you're really passionate about. Look for something that you're really passionate about. What did you want to be when you grew up? Right? When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? Or, what do you do? What would you do every day without getting paid? This is how coaching is for me, right? I do this every day without getting paid. What would you do every day if there was no money involved? So let's say you won the lottery, right? You didn't win a big lump sum. You won $100,000 a month, okay? You are going to win $100,000 a month for the rest of your life. What would you do with your days when money is not a problem for you, right? What would you do? If money was not a problem, you had $100,000 going into your bank account every month, what would you do? Go try find work doing that. If you can't find work for somebody else doing that, create something for yourself doing that. And when you do that, when you're so passionate about it, your brain's not going to be telling you can't do it anymore. And if your brain is telling you that, sorry, just had to verify that I was here. If your brain is telling you that you can't do that, even when you find something that you're so passionate about, then you need to be stern with your brain and change your language. Then you need to get deep with your brain and be like, look, I can do this. I can do this. Change your language. I can do this. But it's going to be much easier to do that with something that you really want to do, right? Scrolling back. Let me know if that helps, Parzival. Hello, girl. Hi. Matt, yes, I know so many words via memories, but it's the actually using that in a convo. Yeah, Matt. And I don't know if you have this, but I did not want to practice with my husband. Like, I had him there with me every day in Australia, but I did not want to practice with him, which made it hard. I preferred to practice with strangers. But like, if you can practice with your fiance, it would be great. You can also, and this really helped me actually, watch some kids' TV programs in Portuguese because they use easier language. So my daughter was 2 when we left, and so she was watching a lot of kids shows in Portuguese, and I could understand them because it was very simple language. So that's another tip, because it will get you used to accents and get you used to listening in real time, because that was the biggest thing for me. It was just so fast. Duolingo is only useful for type. Yeah, right, exactly. Hi from Tucson Penitentiary. Hello. Hello, Heathcliff. Have you been on before? Not sure. Hello, Paris. Perfect, great advice. Thank you. No worries. Where are you from? I'm from the UK, and I live in Goiás, Brazil. The state of Paraíba. Okay, I think I'm saying that right now. Takes me a few tries. I don't know anything about that place. Northeast. All I know, northeast is on that side. Okay, so we're talking like beachy. Is it on the coast? I don't really know anything about the northeast. Like, I don't know anything about a lot of Brazil, but most people, when you say that, they're like, okay, Sao Paulo, Rio, or Santo Espirito. So I was assuming it would be one of those 3. So one thing I would say about living somewhere in Brazil that is not one of the big cities, if it's not a big city, like that was actually a culture shock for me, because I always lived in cities in the UK, and I moved to it is a city, but it's a very small city. So I had to go from like city living thinking to country living thinking, which was as big of a culture shock to me as moving from Australia to Brazil, right? Like not being able to get a hold of different types of food in the supermarkets, for example. Or I'm just going to grab some water. Having to use water machines. That's something that you need to get used to in Brazil. You can't drink the water from the tap, you have to have a water machine. And sometimes the water machine runs out of water and the water shop is closed and you just have to wait till the next day to get water. It just baffles my brain. And our old place had like an electric machine, so we always had water, but here we don't have one. Left Brazil because of this. Wasn't fair. I'm a vet. I used to receive 4k real per month. Now I receive 5k EU. So Fesna, this is an excellent reflection. So my husband is also a vet, and he, when we got back to Brazil, I was like, so you're going to work as a vet again? Because he couldn't work as a vet in Australia. because he would have to redo all of his qualifications in English. But when we got back here, I was like, okay, so you can be a vet again now, right? Thinking, oh, that should be good money. And he was like, no, like I barely made any money as a vet. Like I don't think he got paid a salary. He was getting paid commission. And he said he often would end up spending most of his wages on paying for people's health care, because they would bring their pets. Like a lot of people here don't have money, right? So they wait until their pets are really, really sick, hoping that they'll get better because they can't afford the vet. And then they bring their pets in when they're really sick and they're like, I don't have money to pay to fix them. And so my husband said he often would just, you know, as an animal lover, feel really bad for them and end up paying himself, and just basically never made any money. Good afternoon. Hello. Celso. Hello, Eleanor. How are you? Nice to meet you. Lovely to meet you too. You're from Brazil also. Where are you? Yes, Camilla isn't a good teacher, which I've said to her face. Yeah, my husband actually is a good teacher, but he corrects me too much for my liking. I feel like he's always like interrupting me to tell me I'm doing stuff wrong, rather than just like letting me say it and letting me get away with it. So I stopped talking to him. Cuiba. Girl, I was hanging out with you yesterday, right? My boyfriend don't believe me. I don't know. Well, I was hanging out here. I was at a bar having a few drinks. Maybe you were there. Who knows? On the coast, beautiful. Yeah, on the coast. Do it, Matt. Do it on the coast. We're moving to the coast soon. We're in Goiás, so we're in the middle of the country, but we will be moving to Bahia, which is, I think Bahia is northeast. It's not that north, but it is east. It's north of here. So we will be moving to the beach in July. I can't wait. Eu moro em São Paulo, Brazil. Good afternoon, nice to meet you. Eu moro em Goiás, Celso. Prazer de conhecer você. Good afternoon, my friend. I really liked the colour of your nails. Thanks. I need to paint them again, actually, because they're getting a bit tatty now, but I did a bit of a blue and pink look. Actually, I was going to do that on this live stream. I forgot. I found your accent. I found your account as she sent the video of you showing the letter E. Oh, cool. Thanks, Matt. Thank you for being here. Follow along. I go live every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. EDT, which is 2 p.m. in the UK, every day, Monday through Friday. It's crazy. Hi, Carlos. What is crazy? Oscar, just got home. How was lunch? Hi, Algio. I have 10 days mucus, sore throat. You poor thing. Are you being a victim of it? Or are you getting about and doing your life anyway? I very rarely get sick, and if I get things like a sore throat, I just kind of don't invest my energy to it. I just carry on. Thank you, Fesna. It was lovely having you here. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to hop off because my son's been asleep for a really long time. Plus, it's 4:20. So if there were a time to leave, it would be now. If only there were pearls with your eye colour, I would like to tie around my neck. Thank you, Honey. I've never heard that before. How lovely. Your accent sounds more Aussie than British. I was in Australia for the last 12 years, and I'm from Birmingham, and I feel like the Birmingham accent has a kind of Aussie twang anyway. So yeah, I get that. Okay, Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I've appreciated having you here. I have a community where you can get all of my coaching content. You can book one-on-one coaching calls with me. I'm also running free monthly group coaching calls. The next one will be on Saturday, next weekend. Oscar will be there. Isabel will be there, and there is one more spot. If you want that spot, go join my community and pop a post in the introduce yourself section. So create an introduction post for yourself, put it in the introduce yourself section, and that will let me know that you want a spot in one of my monthly group coaching calls, which will be happening next Saturday. And aside from that, I love you guys. I'll be back on Monday. Have an amazing Saturday.